Hello. Time to talk about what I read in November because it's December 4th, so I'm a little late. But I've been really sick, and I'm finally just not sick. And Hall is really soft tonight, so we're hanging out. So, anyways, I read quite a few books again this month, but to be honest, I can't even remember what they all are. So, I have four here that I'm pretty sure I finished reading in November, and I'll just start with those. So for school, two books, Critically Sovereign. This is Indigenous Gender, Sexuality, and Feminist Studies, collection by different writers, and this is pretty good. I don't really have any specific knowledge of like Indigenous studies, so I can't compare it to any other books, but I thought it was good. Gave it four out of 5 stars. Pretty readable. There was one kind of like legal essay that was just really hard to get through, but otherwise pretty good. And another one for feminist studies, Judith Butler, Notes Towards a Reformative Theory of Assembly. And so this was my first time reading an actual book by Judith Butler, even though I've read some of her essays before. And she's just obviously so smart and has a lot to share. And her writing is not quite as accessible. It's not her writing, it's just that her thinking is so advanced that it's hard to follow. But I'm glad I read this, and I do kind of want to go back and like read some of her earlier stuff. A book I didn't like that I thought I would really like was Future Home of the Living God, a novel by Louise Erdrich. I heard really good things about her, so I was excited to read something by her. Look, Holly's still down here, so cute. Hi. So anyways, this book is about a pregnant person, and it's like a dystopia. It kind of is just like not as good as The Handmaid's Tale and like kind of seems like it, but isn't. Hi, Hall. So anyways, I just didn't like this book. Like, she was a good writer, I could tell, but it was just all over the place, and the pacing was off, and the characters were like really flat, and there was no development, and there wasn't even really like a plot, even though there kind of was, just like in one part. I don't know, just was not a fan at all. Gonna be selling that book. If you want it, let me know. Finally finished reading The Hour of Land. You might remember this from like a year ago, literally, when I started reading it. And I had a point when I was in the middle of this book where I was like, ugh, I don't like this book, actually. But now that I'm done with it, I actually did really like it, and by the end, I liked it again. I think that I just didn't expect the right kind of book going into this, because it says a personal topography of America's national parks, and I kind of thought it was going to be like a memoir. It's not a memoir at all, and it's just kind of random, because there are, I don't know, like, 30 national parks, I think, at least, and she only goes through, like a handful of them. So it's not comprehensive, it's not a memoir, but her writing is really beautiful, and I really like all the different considerations she takes, because she talks a lot about like Native people and rights and the history and government and also just like the nature. So like she's also like a nature writer. So she has a lot of really good like multi-dimensional kind of considerations. And yeah, I really like this actually after all. And it has some like beautiful photography included in it, and it makes me want to go outside. And I'm going to be keeping it because it seems like the kind of book that I might want to like revisit at some point. So I'm just going to pull up my list of my reading challenge because I'm over 80 books right now, I know. So let's see. Oh, look, a little haul for while you're waiting. Oh. Okay, so anyways, so I'm still reading a lot of books right now, obviously, but what else did I finish reading recently? That's the question. Oh my god. Anyways. Oh, I read You'll Grow Out of It. I actually listened to it on tape, or on like audiobook on Audible. It was hilarious. I was getting my eyelashes done, and I was listening to it at the same time, and I was like cracking up in the lady's face. Kind of rude. Oh, I also read Spirited Encounters for my museum studies class, all about like Native American protests at museums. That was really good, and like a pretty fast read. I read The Power. I must not have talked about it yet, I don't think. Did I? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember. I read 2 other books for library school, and I liked The Power. It's one of New York Times' top 10 books of the year, which I was kind of surprised about because I didn't know if it was like that good, but I didn't read any of the other ones on their list, so I don't really like have anything to compare it to. And I did really like it. It kind of like fills a specific niche. I kind of like wish it didn't, like I kind of wish she didn't take it to where she took it, but I think it's valid that she took it where she took it. It's a consideration of like what would happen if kind of like everything started over and it was a matriarchy, not a patriarchy. But I wanted it to be like, how would it be different? And instead it was kind of like, well, look how like a matriarchy could just be the exact same as a patriarchy, but like with women instead of men, but exactly the same, which I think is a valid consideration. like and a viewpoint to consider. So anyways, I did like it. I enjoyed reading it. Not all of the characters were like likable or fully fleshed out, but overall it was like a fast, good reading experience, even though it was pretty long. So anyways, those are the books that I've read. I'm reading a lot right now, and it's like the end of year crunch, so end of semester, end of the like year, annual, just regular year, calendar year, and holidays. So I'm reading a lot, and I guess I'll see you in January for the last installment of this project, because I don't think I'll have time to do this next year, and it was fun to kind of like record everything that I've been reading or trying to do, but as you can tell by this video, it's kind of falling apart. I don't have time, and it's not organized very well, and I don't even have time to like shoot the video well. This is just like I got home from work and put on my pajamas and am just doing this before dinner. So anyways, happy reading. Let me know what you're reading, what you read last month. If you have any other like Native American type recommendations from November, because it's Native American Heritage Month, I think, or Awareness Month. And a lot of the books I read were by and about Native people, which wasn't really planned, but worked out well. Yeah, actually 4 books at least. So anyways, yeah, let me know like what's up. Thanks for watching. Holly's getting cranky. I'm gonna go feed her. Ow! Hey.